JB's never going to give someone a game loss for being like a minute late to there. JB's just going to walk outside
Is
and
that
say,
a
hey,
burning
Mike.
tree?
Yeah.
Is that a burning tree opening up?
Yeah. So we're here into round 2 of tonight's 4-round standard tournament, followed by a cut to top 8. On the left is the local legend and stream regular Adam Vickers, who's playing his Bug Homebrew deck. And his opponent is Mike Miller. Mike made it all the way to the top 4 last week with his very exciting Naya Good Stuff deck, which contains a variety of cards not previously seen in any one deck. And in some cases, we're unsure of how he exactly cast them all.
I think it's basically 2 decks kind of mashed together.
It's Gruul Aggro,
but it works.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a turn.
Seems strong.
Unfortunately, Mike is up against the Bug deck, which is just going to untap and putrefy, or just Abrupt Decay and 2 for 1. This is almost, I would think, almost unwinnable for Mike, given a fair draw from Vickers. He just has way too much removal for this to be.
Mike basically needed well, I don't know if he has 1-drops, but he really needed more than just 1 creature out on turn 2.
Yeah, he wins the game by flooding the board, creating no situation in which you have a profitable block.
Right.
And then occasionally goes big later in the game with that Keswick Wolf run that you see. Last week it worked to great effect. Last week he was just running people over with, madcap skills on dudes, Legion Loyalist triggering first strike to make all blocks unfair. And
yeah, I mean, last week his deck just ran perfectly.
It does, yeah, but the problem with playing a deck that has a lot of raw speed in it is that occasionally your deck does not treat you as well as it should. Although a turn 2 Burning Tree Shaman...
That gap is not that bad.
No. Against any other deck, it would have been very good.
Well, no, against any deck with any removal, it sucks. It's not the...
But to be quite honest, not a lot of decks in State are playing a ton of removal right now.
They don't need a ton of removal, they just need some removal, because you're only flooding the board, well, you're not flooding the board, you are only casting 1 creature with that play.
Adam Vickers is the first person who is ever using the little Cavernous Souls tokens that Logan Cutlet made one week.
I saw him make those tokens.
We're spending a lot of time writing on it, and I guarantee we're not going to be able to see it.
Nope.
What does it? It starts with a W.
Warrior? Possibly?
Maybe.
No idea.
Well,
Magic Slip?
Wizard?
Let's see what the Legion Loyalist creature type is, and then that will tell us.
Yes. Goblin Soldier? Soldier maybe, I don't know.
Who knows? So Cameron comes down naming some creature. But, so let's talk about a little bit, if you haven't seen Vickers' deck in past weeks, he's had a fair amount of success with it. I mean, it's just like any other control deck. It runs hot and runs cold. Some weeks you get paired against the mono red-green aggro draw, and then you end up going 1-3 and then going home upset. But some weeks it's done pretty well. It's Abrupt Decays, it's Putrefies, it's Snapcaster Mages. He does play a couple of Gaze of Granite, which is an interesting pseudo-pernicious deed effect. And then it wins off the back of Thrag Tusk, like every deck in Standard, and a certain number of Planeswalkers.
I think he had Aetherlings there.
Oh, no, he has Aetherlings in it, you're right. He didn't at first, but then when Aetherling became a Magic card, he put that in there. So Mike not adding to his board and is continuing just to pile in with the Legion Loyalist and the Lightning Mauler. And that's a card I forgot. Curse of Death's Hold is in Adam's deck.
Kills?
So everything that Adam does is basically the worst possible thing that Mike could see. Now, Mike's deck is not dead to a curse. He does have some 2-power creatures in it. And with the... and we've entered the Burn Your Face portion of the game. And with that Keswick Wolf run, he is going to be able to present a threat with whatever he has on board.
1/1, yeah.
Well, it has to be a 2/2.
Yeah. 1/1 after the first.
Just saying.
He has a Gorkland Rampager, which he could just run out manually here. He's going to shock himself.
Hard cast.
Gorkland Rampager is one of the more efficient creatures I've ever seen. It's just such a novel design.
Yeah.
Very much.
So Mike says he needs 6 mana this turn, apparently, because he's shocking himself from the Stomping Ground. He's going to land a Gorkland Rampager.
Maybe he has a Skullcrag or something in his...
Skullcrag. Okay.
So, and he's worried that a Thragtusk could come out.
Oh, there it is.
Well,
The
we'll
Fragile
see.
Tits.
Or he just wanted to Searing Spearman to turn and not waste his mana
All right,
attacks.
then. I guess so.
I would probably Searing Spear Thragtusk if he has it.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do. Because then you're...
Your Rampager would still be 3.
It's a
Dungeon
1,
Beast, but still.
Still through 3, but you're going to get it through for... Oh, no.
So I don't know what's in his... I don't know what's in his hand, but he did feel the need to play that land untapped.
I mean, really, it doesn't matter.
It is a
much.
Searing Spear. It was a Searing Spear was in his
Okay.
hand. How does this work in? If you attack, and then he blocks, and then before blocks, you burn the guy. If you
And
give it trample, does it then trample over everything?
damage goes through, yes.
So that's what I would do here, right? But by playing the Burning Tree Emissary, he's not giving himself that opportunity, is that correct?
Unless he plays something else.
But that's the play, right? Because the Rampager has trample already, so you would just force through that 3 damage.
I probably would
And
have
then
swung with
your,
the Rampager,
Rampager
and
wouldn't have
activated, swung with the Rampager, activated Kessig, because it only takes a red and a green to give it actual trample.
Rampage already has trample.
Oh, good point. Good point, sir. That's what I would do.
Point saying.
You would have tapped.
What
3
about
lands for
this?
no reason.
What
Well,
about,
I would have played to...
what about the scenario where he just plays another Curse of Death's Hold that
Tragic
Slips.
activates Morbid on Tragic Slip and takes care of Mike's entire life?
I believe Adam's got this game.
You think?
Yeah.
Did you think?
Yeah, there we go.
He had the game squared. Are you going to be here the entire night?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Well, just let me know when you're trying to take off. I did find a bunch of that stuff.
Yeah.
That was Brandon Booth was joining us. He stepped out. Replaced with Garrett Meadows. Garrett, did you win?
I played against Joseph, so
No.
as long as he wants to continue showing up and not play Magic every week,
Oh, come on.
give me my decks. He should,
He's playing a deck that has all 1 toughness creatures in it.
he is.
He can't be-
The exact 9 cards that he needed to beat me.
That deck is very tough to beat, and he plays it well. Of course, talking about Joseph's deal. Huh?
Yeah, thinks he's backsies multiple times.
Are you?
I'm
How mad are you that you lost game 2 at an FNM? I don't know what to tell you.
Round 2,
Um,
right? Yeah.
But it was good enough last week to take Joseph to the finals, which he did win last week. So off to a 2-0 start. These guys go to sideboard, and you know what that means. Let's give away some Magic cards. So here's an interesting thing about this. Today, 3 separate people got in touch with me and said, "Hey, Zach, have you watched the latest Versus video on Star City Games' main page? Because this week, Brian Braun-Duin and Chris Van Meter started their matchup Magic with a delightful game of rock, paper, scissors." To which I said, it's glad to see them finally coming around, because we are clearly ahead of the game. Because we do it every match here at the Lost Legion FNM stream. If you want to start your own games like a boss with these delightful parody cards from the Unglued set, you're in luck. We give them away each and every week. As we speak, I'm making a post on our Facebook page, facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. It says something to the effect of, it's giveaway time, we're giving away rock, paper, scissors cards. So go over there and find it, like it, comment on it, and share it in your own stream. 3 separate ways to enter to win, and make sure you like our Facebook page while you're doing it. It also shows up in my Twitter feed, at ZachSellsMagic on Twitter. Devin White just did it. Greg Hall just did it. So follow in their footsteps and enter. Like I said, it does show up in my Twitter feed, at ZachSellsMagic on Twitter. So follow me and retweet 4 separate ways you can enter to win each and every week. We'll make that drawing next week. Are they worth a ton of money? No. Is it a source of pride, though? That's the thing. Adam Vickers enters every week and has entered every week since we started and has still never won. And he cannot get over it. But to his credit, he recognizes, like I've told him, I usually have to tell people, but he knows. I can't just give it to him, because that's not the same. You have to win. It's that sense of accomplishment he'll get eventually one day when he wins. As I bring up the logo in the bottom right, remind everyone that we are now partnering, I should say, with AffinityForCards.com, a new Magic online retailer.
Does he have an affinity mechanic whenever you check out?
What?
Does he have an affinity, like if you bought 4 green cards, you get 4% off your...
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because his slogan is the more you buy, the more you save. He does have a tiered discount system where the more you buy, the more you do get off. So it is, in fact, some affinity on that. But you head over to affinityforcards.com. As I always say, I always encourage people to support their local game store, but we all know in life you can't get every card that you want from your LGS, so if you're looking for something that's hard to find, head over there and use promo code, or coupon code I should say, Lost Legion, all one word, for 5% off your first order. And that does help support the stream, so support those that support the stream. Meanwhile, these guys are both mulliganing down to 6 cards.
Which is much better for Adam.
Yeah.
Question in the chat about, wonder if it's just this stream on his phone, but the video freezes every 15 to 30 seconds. I don't know what's going on. We have actually pretty good signal here, and I don't have a lot of background processes running. This same scenario usually results in an uninterrupted feed, but if it is lagging, I apologize. There's not much I can do in that regard. I would love to figure out what's going on and why that camera is bouncing so much.
It might just be like an uneven part
Probably
of
the
the table.
shocks you put on it this week.
Yes. Does have 8 switches now.
Turn 1 on, turn 1 nibble.
Mike going to shock himself. He goes with a turn 1 Stromkirk Noble.
It's a good play. Unless
Adam just plays the $120 swamp and then the tragic slips it. So now I do know I will give you guys this insider information that Mike was, I think, borrowed some of the cards last week to play, and I think this week he was having a hard time finding people to borrow certain cards from, so he may have a different list this week than last week.
I saw him playing on Tuesday, and he has Dryad Militants. I mean, it's just like all these strong vanilla creatures.
I think he was looking for Flinthoof Boars
Yeah.
and Rampagers. Now, obviously, he found Rampagers, or at least he found one Rampager, because we saw it in Game 1. But there is Dryad Militant, a 2/1.
Taking 2. Round 4. Vickers has Slipman up.
With a screw swamp.
So he's soul bonded with Mauler, taking 6.
Side note. I think I know of someone with 13 sets of Guru Lands for sale.
Would you like to take out a small loan to buy them?
Or would you rather buy a house?
I would rather buy the Guru Lands, because I know it's a good investment. I don't know what's going on with the housing market.
Yeah.
So Liliana is possibly game 4 here this next turn. Mike deciding which creature to sacrifice. Probably just sacrifice the Militant, get the
Yes.
board back, and then be able to go on whatever creature he plays next turn.
And
That is the
probably
correct
cast
play.
another
So you can just send a lovely non-Rancor creature, and Liliana and a Rancor creature, and there's...
Cavern of Souls, naming something.
Getting the little piece of paper that we cannot read.
Probably Cat.
Cat.
Human.
So,
Or leave.
You leave? Do you need that stuff? Do you need to settle up now?
I mean, it's up to you.
It's up to you.
I mean, I'll be back through Sunday.
Well, I'll be here Sunday. Here, let me see.
Okay.
You guys can do this. And
I'll be here Sunday.
Green tree, use the green mana for Rancor. Swinging 6 again.
all at
Mike is empty-handed now, so Liliana activation would just hurt Vickers.
yeah, and he needs to activate it up to be able to make him sacrifice next turn. Which, depending on what Mike plays,
Watery grave. No mutilate here.
I'm going to assume Adam has something in his hand, but even if not, I mean,
Life total was correct on the life pad.
yes. Swing the burning tree at the lily, right? Unless you can actually kill him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have to sacrifice anyways.
Yeah. So this is a spell that Mike doesn't have Searing's Grave or Pillar in his hand.
Yeah. Well, Zach has stepped out, so we cannot actually update the life totals because I do not know how his program works. And Garrett's lazy.
I was one chair. I was in the passenger seat. I was in the back seat of this vehicle.
That's not even the passenger seat. That's like the back
You're
seat.
in the passenger seat.
It's like the convict seat.
Let's see, Putrefy on the Rancor Mining Mauler. Liliana down. Rancor back in hand. Probably just going to go on this Burning Tree. I'm assuming Mike Drill land. Or Militant.
Militant. Rancor.
And Mike was holding up Kessick Wolfram in case Vickers had some Snapcaster or something last turn, I guess.
Yeah. Farseek.
The turn 5 Farseek not as potent as the turn 2 one.
This doesn't seem very good for Adam. I don't know what he has in his hand, but it's not.
No,
It can't be much.
Adam's up against it here. As we're going to see, he has a Farseek on the bottom of his library. Useful information. He's very good at keeping that card on bottom.
Not anymore. Somewhere in the middle of his library now.
So, representing another Putrefy. Maybe an Abrupt Decay. Firefish Striker.
Legion Loyalist.
Legion Loyalist, yeah, same thing. Red guy that has a weird battalion trigger.
Something's going to die. Abrupt Decay on
the Rancor Burning Tree. So, Vickers takes 3, going to 5. He needs to find a Thragtusk.
Is Vickers behind in this?
Yes.
Does just not have any business? Or what?
Oh, well, there's a Miracle Thragtusk.
Is the Miracle Fractus getting 10 life?
Best top deck ever.
Now, if Mike can find a hasty guy here, his guys will have first strike. And if it just costs 1 mana, he can still hold up Wolfram or Trample for 0. Which is
Kind of.
irrelevant.
I mean, he would have to be able to cast whatever he drew with the Caverns to be able to Wolfram for 0.
Are we Searing Sparing here, or are we...
No, he had the opportunity to do that play, like Searing Spear mid-combat. He didn't do it in game 1, so I'm not sure if he's
aware of it?
aware of that.
So we're Wolf running for... I think he should go to 7. He was at 10. Yeah, time is at 7.
Wait.
Right? He Wolf runs for X is 1.
Okay, yeah. I think that's right.
Adam, here's 7. Here's 7. 1 off the Wolf Run, 2 from the Dreadnought.
Okay, for some reason I thought the Legionnaire was the yeah, I thought it was the
Yeah, even if he pumped a Legionnaire, it would, for whatever reason, it would have.
No, top of his deck has been pretty good to him now.
Yeah.
Well, he did Farseek. He thinned out the deck.
Oh, well, I mean, that's pro play. I think it's so funny. He's just got like all these standard, like the standard grab bag of just nonsense, and it's got that Guru Swamp right in the middle.
There's the Rancor we know about. Sending it into the Nighthawk.
Let's say into the
I think we
beast.
trade with the Beast, yeah.
Yeah.
So he
can Wolf run for 2. So he's got 6 power.
I mean, as long as Adam doesn't die here.
And he'd have to take 4 from something.
Did Mike already play a land and has nothing in his hand?
Yes.
Okay, so the right play would be.
I think theoretically you play around Searing Spear, but
Yeah,
in
but
this
when,
situation, obviously don't have to do that.
So he was Wolf running for 2. He goes to 4, right? He Wolf runs for 2. Takes 6. He goes to 4.
did he?
They must did it again. We correct him once.
Well, the other one I was sure of. I'm not sure now that Mike's got a pile of lands. I don't know exactly what's 1, 2, 3. So he could pump for 2, so it would have been a 6-1. And they block with the beast.
Yeah, so that would have been 3 damage.
So he goes down to 4.
Yeah, and then he swings with his Nighthawk. He should be at 6, but he's at 5.
Well, at some point it's up to the players to maintain their own board state.
Exactly.
Now, given the fact that we've said that, will not stop people from commenting on the
So Mike just doesn't take damage from the Nighthawk, I guess.
YouTube video.
No, he does.
He has protection from Nighthawk. How brutal is it that Adam's playing these curses main deck against Mike's deck? Like, it turns off half of his deck now. Legion Loyalist, Lightning Mauler, what else? Stromkirk, no.
Dryad Militant.
Dryad Militant. But other than those 16 cards, though, he's good to go. Every Farseek. I have come around on these promo Farseeks. I'm usually a pack foil kind of guy, but I don't know. This promo Farseek I can get behind.
Because you can see the Guru Island on the bottom of the deck.
I knew a lot of people were concerned about that. That's why I brought that up about my Farseek preference.
I have 4 promos in my deck.
A lot of people have been contacting me
Promo's not
during the week and said,
Ooh,
like,
Strangler guys instantly coming into play. It's a 2-1.
It is a 2-1 the hard way, right?
He has the Rancor in his hand.
So there's a 4-1.
It's a 4-1.
But it's only going to be a 4-1.
And he can pump for 1, can he?
No.
Yeah,
He doesn't have the mana to
Oh, yeah, you're
activate Wolf Run. He doesn't have the green.
right. You're right.
Oh,
Yeah, just that 3 green for Strangler.
And the right green.
Now we lead back to Nighthawk. So is he dead here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 power die.
oh, you won.
So he can Wolf Run for 9? Yeah, Vickers is dead unless he has a double spell.
No rush.
4,
Sorry.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Is he just gonna like fool around and lose this?
No, I think he'll be at 1, right?
He'll be at 9. He's taking 9 here.
No, he's not taking 9.
He's going to be able to
taking
block
6.
3, take 6, and yeah, he'll be a 1.
Nighthawk will gain him 2, so he's at 1. Assuming nothing happens.
Is it how lifelink works?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's instant.
I think that's why they they made Unflinching Courage instead of like Armadillo Cloak. Because lifelink works differently than some of the previous text.
I don't think they understand how lifelink works. They might have to call JB.
Whoa.
Whoa. Stop him.
Hey, you're not dead. You're at 1. You're at 1. The guy's 9 power. Nighthawk will gain you. You're going to take 6 because of
He
training.
Mike does this.
You gain 2 life. You're at 5. Yeah, it's just the math. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just letting you guys know. But how you want to handle this is up to you guys. That's not how. If that's what you're scooping to, that's not how lifelink. If that's what you're scooping to, that's not how lifelink works. Yeah. I think it's the old. That's why I scooped. Yeah. Just for future reference. He scooped because of the.
He thought
lifelink worked the other way around. And to be fair, wasn't he supposed to be at 1 more life anyway?
Yep.
This, kids, is why you should count your math correctly.
You're Aaron Daly. I'm Zach.
All right, I'm going to see if there's another.
I should give this to Logan, whoever the hell actually wanted that foil necklace.
I had a slip in my hand, I was going to play it. Just in case it was like, you couldn't go through, it was going to be 6
Well,
coming out.
that's the lesson. If you ever have a question, just remember your opponent does not have your best interest at heart. I'm not saying that Mike coerced him in any way, but obviously Vickers had a misunderstanding of the game mechanics.
He doesn't seem to be here. for right now.
You can hear him talking out there like he had the tragic slip in hand. So there were several runs that he could have made had he understood the rules. So in that situation, just always remember that you call a judge. Zach stepped out to,
Find another match.
I don't know, slap a cow. Why aren't you playing tonight, Ian?
Didn't feel like it.
Okay.
That's pretty much why.
That's no reason.
Gotten tired of playing the same deck, but then I also don't want to spend the money to build another deck at this point.
I took out the reanimator and my reanimator. So,
Yeah,
got 10 planeswalkers in my deck tonight.
it's junk planeswalkers.
Should be fun. I noticed an interaction. If you gaze of granite, 4 or more, if you activate Gideon first and make him a creature, he doesn't die. He would die if he was still a planeswalker, but if he's a creature, he's indestructible.
Ah. Okay then. I was trying to think of how Gideon worked. I forgot about the indestructibility.
Yeah, indestructible, prevent all damage that would be dealt to him. They do that so that if he is dealt damage, like if he's blocked or something, you don't have to figure out if he loses loyalty counters or it's like, just forget it. It doesn't take damage.
Nope.
Hello. Just want to pop in here real quick.
What's up?
Not much.
Who was your first round match?
Mine, it was Alec, not Alec, Skippy.
Skippy still playing
Zombie.
zombies?
Yes.
That's a very hard deck for you to lose to.
No, not really. Like, Bloodthorn Vampire's a pain, and Blood Artist.
You have 4 pillars made though, don't you?
No, 3. But like,
oh my bad.
Yeah.
well,
Doesn't all of his creatures, don't all of his creatures enter tapped
no,
and can't block?
no. Bloodthorn. If he draws
Sorry,
Bloodthorn
yeah.
Vampire,
The Bloodthorn Vampire, yes, let's not forget this. The Bloodthorn Vampire in his deck will shut everything down. The other 56 cards,
it does.
shit. Those 4 Bloodthorn Vampires.
Which he
Gotta
seems to
watch
draw a
out
lot
for.
against me. He won the game that I played him in the top 8. I believe the stream wasn't going on that day, but yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago. But yeah,
Good. Someone has to beat you when I'm not playing.
yeah. So about this feature match that's going on, it's pretty interesting. So who has the best matchup talking? I mean, Yin
Exactly.
usually dishes out some trash against me, so I think I have a bad matchup against Yin on the talking level.
I think you have a bad matchup against life.
Yeah, I do. I mean, the red hair doesn't help.
You got it
It's
wrong.
like,
It's like you mulligan the 5.
oh, thank you. So I will see you all. Not really.
Oh, we have MTG bot in the
Yeah, we have
in the chat. Hey guys, did you know?
KG bot.
Did you know if you do this with MTG bot? Wait for it. Yeah.
So I feel like doing every day.
I am very happy whenever MTG bot's around.
I think it's always around though. Well, that's like really massive. Like
He's getting angry.
the third one.
Oh, MTG bot, you could keep us amused for hours.
Or for about 3 minutes.
Anything exciting in M14? Have you played Duels yet? Duels of Planeswalkers?
No. I need to buy it. Just how much does it cost?
It's $10.
10
on
bucks?
Steam.
10 bucks? Okay, so basically how much an ooze is worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll be doing that.
oh, jeez. I got like cramp. Let's see. The Green Mythic Rare Enchant. 6 mana. Has like a wall of text on it. Whenever you play a land, you gain 3 life.
Oh yeah, whenever.
You play a non-creature spell, get 3+1/+1 counters. Whenever you play a creature spell, you get 3/3. Very good unlimited.
Definitely see it being very good limited.
I don't know if it's going to have standard applications, but like if you Farseek,
Most likely not.
first seek, you get 3 plus 1
Costs
plus
too
1
much.
counters.
So,
And then,
fun, I think.
and then the lantern enters the battlefield, and you gain 3 life.
There are no other games. I assume that you inferred that by how long it took me to get back in here.
That's hilarious.
Slip table, fix table.
What are we talking about?
We were
We're
talking
about
about
flipping tables and fixing tables.
cards that are in Duels of the Planeswalkers that are in M14 that are already playable.
There's a lot of them.
They're limited playable, apparently.
Limited playable, yes. Limited All-Stars. The
Also, like Liliana's
the staffs are playable. Like, the staffs are actually just going to be really annoying.
I think it's like a good sideboard card in some against aggro matchups.
Well, regardless of whatever deck plays it, it's going to make the game go long.
It's horrible. Everything gains life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually great for Duels of the Planeswalkers because that is designed to, like, bring people into the game and teach them, be the sole instructor for somebody that's never played the game before. So having something automatically installed that makes the game goes to 20 turns, probably good.
Yeah.
But it also reinforces that same, faulty logic that every new player has, which is gaining life is awesome.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I think the first leap you make from becoming a kitchen table casual player to like a competitive player is realizing that doing 3 damage is great and gaining 3 life is almost entirely irrelevant.
Right.
Unless...
Lightning Bolt was so good that they stopped printing it in the core set. Healing Salve was so bad they stopped printing it in the core set. And someone in the chat was asking if Duels is already out. It is in fact out. I think it's out on all platforms. It may not... Yeah, I think it's on all platforms now. I think yesterday was the last day, or today was the last day that it was still rolled out on something.
But
I know you can get it on
Steam, just
you can
like
get it on
you get Ooze.
Yeah, you can get it on Steam. You can get it on Android and Apple tablets, and then PS and Xbox. What's the?
But obviously the right play is to get it on a platform where you can do
it's
it.
someone that it's a real person. Yeah, it is. Someone pointing out it is on Android.
Life and,
Someone has posted an interesting. We are all confused now because we're all looking at it, something off the screen. Just swap me seats and I'll put it up so that they can see it too.
So whenever I land...
Don't read it.
No, I'm trying to figure it out myself. Like,
How the combo works?
It's an infinite combo.
So Thrixix
I think it is.
in the chat was pointing out a... let me just save
Because
this.
when the Sapperling creature token comes into the battlefield, it's a forest.
Okay.
Which means you get another one.
Okay, so you draw.
Because it's never an end.
Yeah, it's not a May. There's the combo. Let's go to game 4.
What? Alright. Now, these guys have just put it together. Now, why don't you share it with both me and the rest of the world?
Okay. For what I can tell, basically, the left one, Sporebound. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 green Sapperling creature token onto the battlefield.
Okay.
Life and Limb makes all your forests also Sapperlings, and basically all forests and Sapperlings are forests and Sapperlings. Which means whenever a land enters the battlefield, you have a Sapperling enter the battlefield, which is a forest, which means that card that entered the Sapperling that just entered the battlefield will also get you a Sapperling because it's a forest. And that Sapperling is also a forest, so it'll get you another one. And that just keeps going on until you have,
It just keeps going on.
yeah, it just keeps going on. There's no until.
There's nothing in there.
Oh, I understand what you mean. You can't stop it.
Yes.
That's one of those. That's the reason why you can't play 4 Horsemen in Legacy, is because the Mesmeric Orb combo. Like, you're going to win eventually. You're going to get an Emrakul.
Well, no, this is not even you win eventually. This is literally just there is an infinite loop of lands coming in.
Yeah, there's...
I didn't mean it was exactly the same, but it is a non-definite loop, or it's a non-definite, I guess, because there is no.
Right.
It doesn't end at some point.
Whereas the 4 Horsemen...
Well, 4 Horsemen
has like a
can't end.
0.01% chance of ending, so you will eventually get there.
Well, it will eventually end, I think, is the thing. Like, you might have to shuffle a billion times, but...
After you get your Emrakul, after your, something else like that first, then it all happens.
Yeah, so Skulking pointed out, so if you have Warstorm Surge, then yes, you can win the game at that point.
Right.
I guess that's...
I guess so.
I guess that will work. So if you want to build that... What is it? What does it have? Doesn't that combo involve 2 green enchantments with a total cost of like $1 billion? Like one was like 5 and one was
5 and 4.
5 and 4. So if you want to draw all of your Commander games, that is the way to go. So we did talk about duels. You guys were talking about duels, I guess.
Yes.
The one card that was interesting we posted on the Facebook page yesterday. One of the cards that's in Duels of the Planeswalker on the game, and a lot of the times, this is not a hard and fast rule, but a lot of cards, that's how spoilers happen a lot of the time, is there's a card that's in Duels of the Planeswalkers, and then that is a prelude to it showing up in the core set that corresponds with it. One of the cards that's showing up in Duels of the Planeswalkers is Quirion Ranger, which is a stalwart from Visions that's been used in every elf deck that could play it. Basically lets you bounce a force to untap a creature. So the question is whether or not Quirion Ranger is going to see a reprint in M14. I think it's entirely possible. Quirion Ranger in and of itself, though it's strong, is not a broken effect because it's only super powerful in limited or in Legacy because of the speed that it gives to an already fast combo deck, and you get to play both Priest of Titania and in some cases Elvish Archdruid. But in Standard, you're not going to have that explosive a start, and it basically does cause you to bounce a land every turn. You can. Legacy Elves doesn't care if you have to bounce a land as payment because it plays 2 lands anyway. You get all your mana from creatures. In Standard, you're not going to have that same kind of.
The big targets for it are going to be Archdruid and Threshold. And I guess your Arbor Elf if you need to fix your colors. Arbor Elf can tap for all 5 colors depending on what shop names you have.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's going to get reprinted or not. I'm not saying that it is, but it's fun to speculate about. Might as well.
Yeah.
It's a great card.
And there's still about, 50 or 80 cards that have to go through.
Yeah, official spoiler season for Magic 2014 shows up next Monday is when that starts.
Yeah.
And the official spoilers, they haven't really spoiled much other than the new Garrick. Have we talked about the new Garrick?
I've got some ideas for his ultimate.
I want the San Diego Comic-Con promo.
Now, see, that's interesting that you talk about that. We're talking, of course, about this promo, which was spoiled earlier in the week. This is going to be, the one on the left is the card as it appears in Magic 2014. That is the latest iterance of Garrick, because apparently we only get one Planeswalker in green, and it's Garrick every time.
Never Nissa. Nissa is just like waiting on the bench.
This is the worst.
This would be reprinted into something else.
Nissa, in a way, is worse than Tybalt, in my opinion. But Garrick in itself is pretty cool, but the card on the right is a promo exclusive for San Diego Comic-Con, which it's not just Garrick, it's going to be the entire five Planeswalker cycle are all going to be this black-on-black comic book art homage motif, which, I don't know, a lot of people are excited about. I really, more than any card I've ever seen before, I want to see that card in person. I want to see what it looks like, because I can't really tell if I like it or not. I'm very much on the border. I don't know if I have to choose one right now, I don't like it. But it's neat. It's neat that they're doing that, tying in with old comic book art and stuff like that. But let's talk for a second, and if you want to get those, as I told people on the Facebook page when we posted the spoiler, it's very easy to get them. You just go to San Diego Comic-Con.
Or you pay about $350 on eBay for
Well,
a set.
I was going to say about 100 for one, so, if you get all of them, it might be a little bit more expensive. But let's talk a little bit about Garrick himself. Obviously, he's a 6-cost creature, starts at 4 loyalty. His +1 is Lead the Stampede. It's exactly Lead the Stampede. Tag teamed it. His -3 is like Quicksilver Amulet, but only if it's a green creature.
There's actually a card that does that. Dramatic Entrance.
Dramatic Entrance, okay. And then his ultimate, -7, so he's a 4-turn ultimate, is you get an emblem that says whenever you cast a creature spell, you may search your library for a creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library.
Okay, so let's stop there. You can cast your Restoration Angel, get your Thragtusk, it enters the battlefield, you gain 5 life. Your Restoration Angel enters the battlefield, Thragtusk. You could cast your Disciple Bolus, get your Rogue Spineworm out of your library, sacrifice your Rogue Spineworm, draw 15 cards, gain 15 life, get 3 5/5s, and you have a Disciple Bolus. Or the fun one, Get your Emrakul after you cast your Zealous Conscripts. Give it haste. Swing.
This is very involved. And it involves a 4-turn ultimate on a 6-cost Planeswalker. But it's very neat, I will give you that. But let's talk a little bit here about just the abilities of the card itself. Before we get into it, here's my opinion of Garrick. I think Garrick is neat, and I think everything that he does in a vacuum has a lot of raw power. I think the things that he does are very strong. I don't know how exciting that's going to be at the 6-drop slot in the curve, but like I say every time, I'll just wait until Jerry Thompson decides if that's a good card or not, and then I'll know if it's good. But his +1 Lead the Stampede. Lead the Stampede is very strong. Back when Elves and Scars block, back when Elves was still a deck, I mean, our resident Elf expert Max used to play 3 copies of it. If you can play budget Legacy deck that plays 2 or 3 Lead the Stampede, because most of the times in those decks, if you build around it, it's basically Ancestral Recall for about 3. Right. The problem here with that card is you have to build around it heavily. Obviously, there are those Domri decks already that have that kind of build, but this guy costs 6. You know, I just don't know if at that spot in the curve, if you want to play a dude and then use his +1 ability to go up to 5, which is not an insurmountable. It's not like Karn, where you play Karn and then up him and he goes to 10, and then it's like you can't kill him if you +4 him. Yeah, like Gideon going up to 8. Like 5 is a number you can deal damage with 1 Thragtusk, and you just occasionally draw a couple cards. I don't know if that's strong enough.
Even if you draw cards, it doesn't impact the board at all.
Yeah, he's just out there. You just have to hope that he lives through whatever. You have to be well ahead, which it seems unlikely that a deck that's playing double green 6-drops will be at that point.
Well, I don't know. It might depend on what happens when you build around this. But, for example, the Primal Hunter Garrick, if you just play him to draw a bunch of cards, which people do that, it's just drawing cards without changing anything.
But I think that is like the worst case scenario with Primal Hunter, which is I'm going to cast this as a really big harmonize or whatever. That's not usually the desired ability is to +1 and then draw the cards. But you're right. I mean, sometimes people do that. Is it bad? Like, is the potential to draw 3, 4, 5 cards good? Obviously, that's very strong. But like Garrett says, it doesn't. The reason Garrett Wallspeaker was good is he came into play and immediately ramped you from 4 mana to 7 the next turn usually, or made a 3/3 and just kept making 3/3s. And the other Garricks make cards that get in the way. But he doesn't protect himself in that regard. Now his -3 ability is very strong. Put a green creature card from your hand into the battlefield. Immediately everyone thinks in Modern you can play him and then put Progenitus into play and great. Okay, fine. Someone is trying to kill you while you get up to 6 mana.
Or if you have Painter's Stone, you can put Emrakul play.
Sure. Yes.
Well, actually no. Emrakul is still colorless.
But if you get to 6 mana, you might as well just cast Scape Shift. I think, right? That's better. But yeah, his -3 is dependent upon what you have in your hand, and the only thing I can think of in current standard, and again, there might be other good cards in M14, Theros blocks coming up, who knows? This might be a very legitimate strategy, is ramp into Garrick so that you can cheat in something. But the only card I can think of in standard right now that I would really want to cheat in, that doesn't cost 1 more than Garrick already costs, is World Spineworm. And I don't really know if I want to build a deck that's entirely hinged upon getting to 6 mana so I can play a World Spineworm. Now, given if you do that, you pretty much win. But I don't know if that's... You know what I mean? People are like, Craterhoof Behemoth, it costs 8. Yeah, this guy costs 6. This is a very expensive Seething Salt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but on the other hand...
Elderscale Worm costs 1 more than this.
If you do that, you would still have this guy on the board.
Yeah, I mean, is it advantageous? But, I mean... At what point is it not is it a rampant growth effect, just better?
Take a counterspell. If you have no idea.
But Garrett just gets counterspelled.
The cards that it's going to compete with are Prime Speaker Zagana, Angel of Serenity, maybe Armada Worm.
Right.
The Armada Worm.
I think all of those are better. I even think Armada Worm is probably better than this.
But also, 2 of those are cards. If you could play this guy and then put in a Zagana and draw 5.
If you are ahead, if you have established a board state where you are ahead and then you land this guy, it's as close to winning the game as you can get in a soft lock. I agree with you 100%.
Well, not even if you're ahead. If you're just at a stalled board state, or...
If nothing is happening.
Yeah.
Either you're not being attacked, or the game is stalled out, then this guy's great. But the struggle of every ramp deck is trying to be alive by the time they ramp into whatever they want. Oh,
It really depends,
Wash
though.
your mints? Well, I've enjoyed
it's all the way in the back on the left.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Sure.
You're the YouTube guy.
I am the YouTube guy, and you are Aaron.
All right. I'm Aaron.
Yeah, nice to
Yeah,
meet you.
okay.
Were you the one who
You
sent me
guys-
this? Yes, you're live on the internet now.
Oh yeah. Live on the internet. Cool.
Well, at least your torso. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, thanks for coming down. I'll come out and chat with you later, man.
Okay.
But
Am I supposed to be in here?
I mean, if you're playing him, you're probably playing him in some sort of mid-range deck. And if you're playing mid-range and you're up against Control or something, or even another mid-range deck, there's a lot of situations where there is a stalled board state.
yeah. I mean, I know we're like beating this dead horse, but I mean, like, what else are we going to talk about? We're waiting for some rush.
Yeah, I mean,
Still, the comparison, like, as long as Primal Hunter's in Standard, wouldn't you just want to play Primal Hunter against a control deck? Make a 3/3 every turn?
but it's not going to be in Standard anymore after a little while.
Maybe. Maybe there's a Guruk in third.
Turret Dave in the chat says I could just go too long, didn't read Garrick sucks, which is it's very good. But as someone who's been doing this for 10 months now, I realized you have to kill time, and talking about magic cards is a good way of, or new magic cards is a good way of doing that where people don't
We
leave.
can't TLDR like anything here, because otherwise we would have nothing to talk about for like 5 hours.
Our entire broadcast, I would just sign on and be like, too long, didn't read, Joseph Deal one. So, and then finally, the emblem, which Garrett talked about, is a 19-card combo to win the game with Emrakul. But you get an emblem such that whenever you cast a
So
creature,
you just get an Emrakul.
you should. I would love that. It's just like target creature gets an Emrakul. Make a token of Emrakul. You have to. If you don't even know what Emrakul is in the core set.
That's the newness, and this has been on Zendikar for so long that now her +1, instead of getting a This Is Chosen,
Because Emrakul's the only thing left. He annihilated everything else.
Yeah.
Just getting
just +1 get Emrakul.
all my 2/3s are dead. But you get an emblem, which is basically natural. It's a natural order type effect. It's bribery yourself, and that's when you cast it. So even if they counter the spell you cast, you still get the creature into play. And again, that's cool, but it takes four turns to ultimate. I like the Big Garrick's ultimate, which is make a lot of 6/6s.
Yeah.
Like, that wins the game. Like, this may not win the game because you have to have a creature to trigger it. Ultimately, my opinion of Garrick is I don't think, if I'm playing a commander and I have him, I'll be like, all right, this is fun, let's do some stuff. But ultimately, I think he's just a very poorly, he's like a very narrow combo card where the combo's not that good, and he's like, huh?
Yeah, Rouse Eric.
Oh, you dreamed up another scenario.
Right. So you played Rouse Eric on turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
You played this guy on turn 6. Rouse Eric is 1 turn away from ultimating. You ultimate with Rouse Eric, and you can go off with this guy on turn 7.
And there you have it, folks.
Yeah, you have to flip enough coins in your favor.
You're going to flip the coins.
That was my favorite when Rouse Eric came out as a spoiler. Rouse Eric, his ultimate, he seems fun, but his ultimate seems too random. I don't know if he's any good. Who's trying to ultimate that guy? Who looks at I don't know. I'm trying to think of another planeswalker that gets I don't know, like a Johnny Goldlane almost won a Pro Tour. And Johnny's ultimate is make a big dude that can be destroyed by any targeted removal spell. And he almost won a Pro Tour. But when he came out, was everybody like, I don't know, making an avatar creature of your life total is probably not that good. I don't know if I'd play him. Who cares? +1/+1 in vigilance, gain life. That's all that matters. Rouse Eric. Untap something.
Untap
Free lightning bolts. Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt's
always good.
Hey, you know what else is good? You know what else is good, guys? Cash money tournaments. When was the last one we had? Back in March?
We agree.
The last one.
Cash money tournament.
March and April we held the first Star City Games Invitational Qualifier that the store has, well, it's not the first, it was the second one, but the first one we've had since we started promoting via the stream, and we're doing it again on Saturday, August 17th here at Lost Legion Games in South Charleston, West Virginia. The event registration starts at 11 and the event starts at 12. It's a $25 entry fee standard tournament, and the winner gets $250 cash as a travel award and qualifies for any of the remaining Star City Games invitationals for the rest of the year. Do you guys know where those are going to be at? One's going to be in New Jersey. The one's coming up very shortly. I think it might be prior to this event. But you can check Star City's website for information on that. Those tournaments are very lucrative. Obviously, they're filled with a lot of ringers, but if you do well in those tournaments, the payouts are very lucrative. So might be worth your time to make a trip over here to the store. Second place gets 24 packs, and then you see the pack payout for the rest of them. And I talked with JB today. I'm trying to talk him into possibly getting some more. I'm basically trying to get him to pump up the prize pool if we get X number of people. So we're going to try and do the math on that and see if we can get a more lucrative prize pool. It's very lucrative, but only for the top 8 currently. But more door prizes and stuff will be handed out. And then obviously, if you can't make it down, you can watch all the coverage streaming live. Unless I have another funeral to attend, which like I did the last time. But
Hopefully that does not keep happening.
Well, I'll tell you off camera how it literally can't happen again. But
Okay then.
it's not just morbid. But anyway, this was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I missed the last one, like I said. But we had like 50-some people at the last event. It was a great windfall for. No, it was like 50 plus. It was under 60, but it was over 50. I'm positive we didn't have 80.
It was like 50-something. Well, I mean, the store was full, and
There's no reason why we can't have 80 for this. And I guarantee you that if we pack the store with the...
Pathfinder players.
Well, we'll deal with it, but...
Can we go back into the chat because someone was mentioning that they got
Hello to Mitty.
lost to a Tamio Ultimate plus Siren Insanity combo?
Mm-hmm.
Seems pretty fun. Siren Insanity, you have to discard your hand at the end of the turn.
But you just get it all back.
Let's get it up.
That seems fun.
I guess Tamio
Also,
Ultimate is still...
losing to Tamio Ultimate plus, like, any card is pretty...
Tamio Ultimate Marseek is pretty brutal.
Anything else going on in the chat here? Ratchet Bomb's coming back, which I think will be interesting for a
I
while.
killed JB with Elbrus.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Garrett is playing an Elbrus in his deck.
Saturday night against Charleston.
Well, I saw the part where JB sat back down and said that he was losing. And Garrett pointed out the 13-13 that he had.
Are they asking about what we think about Fiendslayer Paladin? Is that the First Strike Lifelink Pro Red and Black guy?
Yeah.
Thanks, JB.
Well, not pro red and black, but it's almost pro red and black.
Can't be targeted?
Can't be targeted by spells.
So you can still
Red and
kill
black.
with creature damage.
Yes.
Okay, so it's de facto. I like that, because I don't know if I like that or not.
I
I'm
mean,
trying to decide
it
if I
would
like...
obviously be better for the creature to have pro red and black.
I'm trying to think like which one I would want better, or think is better for the game, like pseudo hexproof or being able to block. I think in the core set, being able to block is probably more important,
Yeah.
just for general funsies in the game. So we're going to step outside, and by we I mean me, and Garrett's going to go play, and we're going to try and find another feature match as we move into round 3 of tonight's Friday night tournaments. 2 more rounds to go, Swiss, and then cut to top.